Welcome to a very special edition of Morning Buzz Coffee Hang with myself, Ed.
And myself, Frank. How you doing? lots of different camera angles.
Yeah,
that we're
this is
used
good.
to,
This is full production.
So we're gonna get this right for sure.
Yeah.
This time.
Oh,
let's just do
this
first.
is. Pang. Yep.
Fireworks.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so you know, Ed and I, we have a bubble.
Oh, well, let's do this. Let's do this, buddy.
So there's no social distancing. That's cut. Yeah, so we're a part of this. Our we've increased this social bubble, so we've been fine. In case people are worried about social distancing, so
Right.
We know.
But that being said, we still have this as our separation and this line. So, Frank.
So we're gonna try not to moistly speak.
And you have to stand this far away from me.
On guard.
All
right. So that's a little bit of the intro of Mornin Buzz Coffee Company. So this coffee hang serves a few purposes, but we got some exciting news towards the end of it. So I think we just wanted to do a little.
Yeah.
How do we get to where we are?
Basically, we're just hanging out right now, and we're doing our own coffee hang. Yeah. And we're going to tell you guys a little story about our journey, where we came from, where we got to, and then
where we're going.
Where we're going, and a little bit about the big thing, right? The big surprise of the day.
Big surprise today. Yeah. I mean, the official surprise.
How much of a surprise is it, really?
What, the yellow bag?
So, dude, you want to start?
Yeah. Back, I would say 2 years ago on a tour bus, we were talking about coffee, and we had put a kit together. That looks something like this.
Well, hold on. Oh, hold on. Put that away. You got to tell them first. Like, we got to talk about the story. If you guys don't know our story, 100%, here it is. Frank and I are musicians and have played together for well over 10 years, over a decade.
Yeah.
Right? And we toured all over North America, and we just couldn't get decent coffee. And when we were staying in hotels and we're getting, we have 4 a.m. lobby calls or airport calls, we're having to drink that coffee in the hotels. So in motels, and some days I'm thankful it's there.
Oh,
I mean, it's better than not having anything. But I mean, it was when that is our one thing we love so much. It was hard.
Yeah.
To deal with that, right?
Yeah. So then we would occasionally on the roadsides we would stop and get coffee, and normally this was okay. Occasionally that would take longer, and sometimes the drivers, and we mean this no harm to anyone that's listening that is a driver, but they didn't like those little pauses between. I just moistly spoke there. So we came up with a solution to this. We thought, well, let's brew coffee on the bus.
Yeah.
At 120 kilometers an hour, boiling water. So
yeah, we were doing 120 kilometers an hour down the road while boiling a kettle and trying to brew some coffee. Right. So because we couldn't find a coffee when we needed it, we decided to travel with our own rig. But that's before we put the rig together. We also would bring a pound of coffee each, every trip, and try different flavors and different roasters and stuff like that, and realize at that point that we had something to offer.
Well, we were looking for something specific, and we couldn't find. We found some great coffees, but we had something we wanted to.
Great's a strong word, isn't it? Because I mean, that's what led us to it. Because good coffee, we found good coffee.
We found some good coffee.
Yeah. Hold on, drum roll.
So, as you can see in here, we have the first thing you need for making coffee on the road is a kettle. Now I know to
Look at that dirty that's.
it's a little dirty. Yes, we haven't
We'll
been
just,
we haven't been on the road for a while.
Get
as
rid
you
of
can
that
tell.
guy over there.
So and then you have to it's not a mill, so all you coffee connoisseurs will realize this is the bottom end of.
But it fit in the case.
It fit in the case, and it suited our road budget.
And this is a road case, by the way. Let's keep that in mind.
And then, of course,
We'll get better at this.
we have an amazing Bodum French press.
Look what's in here.
Oh, what is that thing? Oh, is that?
It's a stir stick.
I don't
stir
even.
sticks.
That's what it is. I don't recognize what those little things are. I haven't seen one for a while.
Well, you got a lot in there. So
That's where they're all hiding. And then we have various little proper stirry things.
Yeah. Oh, at one point, Frank, you had a frother. In here.
Yes, and my wife has been looking for it, and and we can't find it. So
Where's the frother?
I think it's in. Indiana somewhere. In
We
in
left it
dressing
on the road.
room
Okay,
in
okay.
Indiana.
Is that where I sliced my hand wide open?
No, that was Vermont.
Okay, thank you for keeping my timeline together because I can't remember one gig to that.
So I guess we have to get a new grinder.
I think we need to get a new case.
Yes.
So Pelican, or Nanook, if you're listening, we seriously need a case, a customized case. We need to get a little more serious about it. I think we need more room because we also had a couple travel mugs in here, but travel mug. So in the morning, we would brew coffee in the hotel or motel wherever we are for the bus. Yeah. But then we get to the gig, and then we would brew coffee, between sound check or whatever. And then we needed different cups for that. We needed these cups.
Yes.
So we need room for the mugs, and then we need room for road cups. We probably need 2 Bodums. I'm just saying, like
casters. We need
espresso machine. Yes, roll it in. So small generator, compressor to blow stuff out, just a few tools.
So we have one of our drivers likes to drive a little peppy, should we say? Michael. But it's okay. It's just slow down when you're approaching the U.S. border. But when you're doing 125 kilometers an hour, and this is just boiled, and the struts and the shocks on the tour bus aren't that great, and you have ground coffee in here, and you have to do this. Well, let's say I didn't burn myself at all, but came pretty close.
How would we do that?
Well, we need a gimbal.
Yes, a gimbal.
We need a gimbal.
Well, then, so we need room for gimbals.
So that the gimbal just keeps everything even all the time.
If you don't know what a gimbal
is, boats.
We'll put it over here. So
in this case, we would take our favorite coffees that we find and bring them along. And then one day we had a conversation, and this was on the bus, and we were just joking about. I think Ed said, we should talk to some of these roasting companies, see if they'll donate coffee just to us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of both, we should maybe just roast our own coffee. I said maybe we should start a coffee company. Mm-hmm. And that was about 2 years ago, August.
So, yeah, that was about 2 years ago, and I remember that summer, Maple, who's my 10-year-old daughter now, would have been about 8. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about 8 then. We were camping, and no, it was last year when she was 9, after a year already. Mm-hmm. And she had said to both of us, do you guys realize you guys were talking about this last year? Mm-hmm. So, and that was last summer. So we had been working on it, just brainstorming some ideas for a year. Do we want to get into telling them the other company?
Wake and Bake Productions? Well, it was called, actually it was supposed to be called Wake and Bake Coffee.
So it was Wake and Bake, and because we wanted to open a brick and mortar shop, and the wake was obviously going to be the coffee, and the bake is going to be organic baked goods. But, well, what happened, Frank?
Well, there's between Christmas and February, Ed sent me a text saying, do you want to Google Wake and Bake Coffee? And I did. And up popped about 3 different companies, Wake and Bake Coffee, with CBD and THC infused coffees. And
that's not the biggest selling point for me. It was, and I'll put a link in here, and I think we might have actually showed that on another earlier episode of the Coffee Hangs.
Yes.
They literally have a coffee cup made up with a mouthpiece here and a bowl here. Mm-hmm. How do you compete with a company that's already got that? So we were pretty devastated, and I remember sitting on the couch thinking, I got to come up with a name that is still a fun play on words, like the Wake and Bake. But we don't have THC or CBD infused anything. I mean, that's just not what we're about. But not with our coffee anyway. Hey, Frank.
Nope.
I
don't know what he's talking about.
But anyway, so I thought, it's a buzz, right? Coffee is a buzz. People drink coffee to get that buzz. So it's like, and when do you normally drink that? Or the majority of the time, morning. Mornin Buzz. And then it just took off from there. And of course, we work extremely well together in the creative department. So it didn't take long for us to get those creative juices flowing, like names of roasts and sayings and stuff like that.
And having the honeybee. I think that was Jill's idea about a honeybee.
No, I think it was because of the buzz. You know what? I wouldn't want to take that. I wouldn't want to take that away from anybody if there was somebody that came up with that.
Jill came up with the bee. The idea of a bee.
We'll give it to Jill. We'll give it to Jill. She deserves it. We'll give it to Jill. We'll give it to our families. Our families thought of it. All of you. We love you guys. All of you guys, because we wouldn't be here without you.
Exactly.
Cheers to the families,
cheers
buddy.
To the families.
So where are we at now, Mr.
We want to open up a coffee company. We got some domain names for Wake and Bake, which obviously we had to change. So once we settled on Mornin Buzz, we purchased morninbuzzcoffee.buzz.org.com.ca anything after, just for at least for a year, and we've and trademarked the name in Canada and in USA as well. So those were things that we put in forward so that we would have that safely kept. So and then it was all the preparation of the company. That was all the I's and T's being dotted and crossed. All the we incorporated the company. All of that legal work.
Well, and the whole time we are constantly testing roasts out and testing beans out and regions and developing quite a large amount of knowledge in that part of coffee, like from growing to processing to distribution, getting it over here, all that stuff. So we spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time researching all sorts of different parts of the company, business side and creative side and product side.
Yeah.
So something that absolutely didn't happen overnight. How many headaches did we go through? Even we haven't got to the reason really why we're here today yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But just trying to find people to print roasts and logo labels and
and then just designing the bag, the final, which you'll see the final product that's piled behind us. But that final product was probably about a 5 to 6 month process in just designing all the proper, because it's organic and fair traded, because they have their logos, they want to make sure certain things are up there. There are certain requirements because we want to go into retail. Hello, any retailers that are listening.
That's a great cutaway. I love it.
because
hello to you.
We have
get our stuff in your place.
That's right.
Yes,
Subliminal. We have it in English and French on the bag, as would be required in Canada by law. So we went through all that effort. So all those little tweaks, and we'd have once it was designed through our the creative designer, then we went through the graphics designer, and then just
we went through a couple of designers too that we worked with, some for different reasons.
Yeah.
And we were developing our own website at the beginning, and then our web designer, her basement flooded and all of her gear got wrecked, and then we decided to go through. Now we go through Shopify, as some of you customers of ours will know because you've gone through there. So we've actually gone through a few different people, and you get started to a certain point, and not on fault of anybody's. Just just life, and then you go, oh well, let's start back at the beginning a little bit, and yeah.
But I will do a special shout out to Christy Ryder. She designed designed the roast logos, designed our logo, and we can go through an archive of how our main logo started and how it finished. It had all kinds of different.
And you know what I'll do, guys? What I'll do right now is I'll put somewhere on this crazy video, wherever I can, I'll start putting these right here.
Ticker tape.
Pop, pop. You know what I mean? The different, because we got like hand sketches of stuff and there's some real funny stuff.
There's some pretty fun. I mean, and it's just the process of getting there.
Yeah.
So then we had it finally set up, and we developed our roast profile while touring last summer. We went and made sure we had our flavors. So we had a lot of sleepless nights on the road from spending the afternoons before sound check and after sound check drinking coffee.
I was on vacation in Collingwood, and I had a box of coffee that I'm like, I don't think I've ever had this much coffee in my at one time ever in my life. It was crazy. So, it was hard to keep track of, to be honest with you. Hey, like just testing it out. But
yeah, and then in the fall we started working with the Hamilton Business Center. They have these, and just check it out. They have this in every municipality.
Shout out
so
to
even
them.
if you're not in Hamilton, every municipality has something like this. But it will help you with small business. And they have guest speakers. They have seminars. A lot of them are free. Some of them are paid, but they're not expensive. You can buy like the whole 4 of them for like $150 a person. So much knowledge from that. They really mentor you well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jody, particularly at the Hamilton Business Center, and Karen, who sort of organizes everything.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot. We just learned, if you're doing a sole proprietor, incorporator, whatever you're doing, they really helped out a lot.
And if you have no idea what he just said,
then you should be going to
then you should be going there, because we have no idea what any of that meant. Well, we did, but we both run our own businesses in music. Mm-hmm. But, geez, they just opened our eyes to sides of business that we had no idea even existed.
And we thank Michael Thompson at Tyrus Corp for directing us that way to the Hamilton Business Center. He was great help in that. Mm-hmm. So they helped out. So by the time we got to, I guess, November now, or even September, we had an April 2nd date. Say we're going to launch April 2nd. Mm-hmm.
Why did we decide to launch April 2nd?
Well, because April 1st is April Fool's.
Yeah.
And just,
But why in April? Do you remember?
Oh, I can't remember now.
I can't remember either. I think it might have been something to do with a fiscal year thing, or was it something like that maybe? But definitely it was the second over the first because of April Fool's Day. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we knew that 6 months before any of the COVID stuff ever was even in our brain that we were going to launch April 2nd. So it wasn't like a COVID thing whatsoever. In fact, when that did all happen and we all went into lockdown, we questioned whether or not we should still open.
Mm-hmm. Because so much of a lot of our business plan and how we were going to market was going to farmers markets.
Yeah.
Toronto Coffee Tea Expo, which got canceled and is canceled. They were going to reschedule in the fall. That got canceled. All these events where people gather, and at our own shows and at festivals, and that's where we're going to go out and promote product. All of a sudden that got taken away, and so it was what are we going to do? And we went online. We went into hitting as our regular customers know, and if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we're posting every day. There's some kind of new information. Mm-hmm. We have the coffee hang that this is part of. We have Coffee School 101. Mm-hmm. All kinds of little cool things that happen in those places, and that's sort of the promotion. We've just recently launched an ad campaign with Chorus Entertainment.
3-month ad campaign to start out. Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. We're on the radio now. So if you listen to Y108.
Y108 in Hamilton,
boom.
Tune in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can hear little 30-second ads
and they
that
play
we have.
Great music. I like that music.
Yeah.
It's I haven't listened to a station like that since I was in Alberta.
Yeah.
Just a good, awesome rock station.
Mix of everything. So new...
But rock, for
new,
sure.
80s, 90s, 70s, 60s, all of it. So you get everything. So that was exciting. And so we had that set up, and then we had ordered our bags, and they were supposed to arrive mid-January of 2020. To do it, it's almost impossible to do the bags manufactured in Canada 100% the way we wanted them. Yeah. So they were done in China. Not only was there a Chinese New Year going on in January of 2020, but the beginning of
New
COVID.
World.
So we were still set on our April 2nd launch, and we kept in touch with the through our roaster. We were in touch with the where our bags were at, and he basically said, "You might want to come up with Plan B."
Yeah, and a big part of the reason why we forced the Plan B is because we were, through Hamilton Business Center, we were in a grant application course for mentorship and like I said, a grant fund. So we had to be selling by April 2nd. So it's kind of part of that too. But we had planned to have our, like Frank said, our yellow bags are the bags that we wanted and designed, worked so hard on, but they just didn't come in. So
we had a solution we said we have to have it in a, well, you saw the launch video, you know, these were our fancy temporary silver bags.
Fly this. If you could, it would be great if you could just fly it in with a crane right to the camera. Where's our camera?
That works. We can't afford them.
Like an SCTV skit.
That's right. So that's the absolute last silver bag that we have.
Hey, that is
we should have an auction. You want our last silver bag? Because
we'll pay you to get rid of it.
No. 10 years down the road when we are dominating the world in coffee.
Yeah, we will keep it.
This might be valuable.
Yeah.
Put it in the Coffee Hall of Fame.
We'll put it in the cabinet with all the other trophies.
That's right.
Look at it's got that label.
Stickers.
And if you really look close, like it's been through a thing or two, right? So
anyways, that was our temporary silver bag. So that got us to through April and May, and so all our early customers are familiar with that.
Yeah, and I remember talking to a few friends, and well, it would have been friends, like people we talked on a regular basis, and saying, "Oh, just wait till you see the new bag, right? Like wait till you get a load of this thing. You're going to love it." And they're saying, "Oh, we love this bag. What are you talking about?" And I mean, there's nothing wrong with the bag, and I think it worked great. But just we knew what was, we knew what was coming. So I mean, for us, it was like it's a whole different experience. Right?
And a very cool thing is people that have purchased, you know that you get one of these in your little box when you get your coffee.
Yeah.
Well, we had designed
perfect
that
for
to
your
go in your
boat
box.
right here.
Well, when we had had to go to our temporary bag, we didn't have the time to design a bag with printing or get that done because it would have to go to China.
We'd be in the same boat. We'd be another.
It'd be on a boat 6 months later.
Yeah.
So we had roast logos, as you see, and we had this. So that ended up just getting stuck onto the silver bag.
We lucked out on that.
Lucked out that we had a lot of
lucked
these
out there.
set up already. So we.
I mean, like anybody starting a business, we wanted to come out of the gate with our best foot forward, right? So for us, again, we lucked out, but we were pretty disappointed that we had to use this. But when we seen it, how it all came together, right away we lost that whole feeling. We were like, "Oh, this is okay. This is good. This is good." Yeah.
And so that was that brought us to April 2nd, launching with the bag. We've been now in business for 3 months.
Hey, 3 months today.
3 months today.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Court. Hey,
we've done our first quarter.
Elbows up or? See, I gotta get that logo in there, guys. There
you go. One of those. Bottoms up.
What we should be doing is drinking bourbon. That's what we should be doing.
What happens in 3 months? Well, we halfway through that time, these come in. So we start filling orders in our proper yellow bag. Today is the official launch of that bag.
There's our light roast with the tapey job on it. In the bag. And you can see the side gussets. There's a valve on the back to release gases. Other side. And the back side, which talks all about our story, so on and so forth.
In both French and English.
In both French and English. Oui, oui.
There's our buzzkill. Buzzkill. Let's get out of the glare. There we go. A little buzzkill.
There we go. Let's throw these
all
bad
the other
boys
stuff
right up here.
Oh, one thing we didn't show you. We were excited when this happened too.
Yeah. The design department here.
When we first
that's pretty funny, man.
Designed our bag, we had it all done. We said, I need to know what this bag's going to sort of look like in real life.
Yeah.
So we just printed this and taped it together.
together.
It's now in our museum.
And we did that too for put her up there. Good, nice one, Frank. Oh, here you go.
Yes.
There, we'll throw that up there, bud. So, yeah, when we were doing that day and we were making that little bag, we at the same time cut out our logo, and Frank taped it on his shirt.
T-shirt, yeah.
We're like, "There's a shirt. That's awesome." Yeah. So,
coming somewhere.
I don't know.
There's stuff. There's a few things coming down the pipe there. So that's our yellow bag. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
To have
Well,
that.
what else we got, Frank? So we got 2 more roasts here. This one's not taped, so you can kind of really see the back. This is the back of that. You got a little Beatrice up there, who, if you guys don't know yet, Beatrice is our mascot. Mm-hmm. Bada boom, bada boom. There you go.
So Queen
Bada
Bee
boom, bada boom.
Bada boom. So Queen Bee is named after Beatrice. So a pun on the on the play on the word of bee. And then we have, of course, Sting. Is it backwards on that? I guess backwards on the camera. Anyways, Sting, our dark roast.
Yeah.
Ed and I are both. We came
We're
into the
drinking
coffee
right here.
business as dark roast drinkers. We're drinking some dark roast right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we made sure every one of our roasts passed the test. So we went over so many, knocked out, eliminated so many, and it was it wasn't intentional. They're all single origin. So the bean is from one place, and it's roasted to one profile, the entire bean, as opposed to having half your bag of light roast and half dark and just blended together and that kind of stuff in from 2 different locations.
Yeah.
And that was just circumstance. It just happened that way.
We tried blends.
Oh, all kinds.
We tried blends. It's just this is what we thought. We have to love the product. So when a brand is a brand, and you're trying to sell that at the same time because you want it to be on everyone's mind, but if what's inside isn't fantastic, then I think you've lost the game already.
Yeah.
I think it's got to start from that part, and so we were very picky. Very picky.
Yeah.
And we went back to the
100%.
drawing board.
100%. Thank you, Alan.
We were very picky. So we went back to the drawing board many times. This is, we play with a bass player, Waylon Glintz. If anybody's seen any of the coffee hangs, you might have seen him.
Yeah.
He's a coffee roaster out in the Welland area. He was kind of another board to bounce off of.
Yes.
Right? Because he's a light roast lover.
Yeah.
So we're dark roast lovers. So we can taste the light roast and we can say, oh man, that tastes good. And it does. This is a really great coffee. But at that point, I think you might agree with me, is that I didn't know anything about light roast. So it was nice to get opinions of some real pros to help kind of guide our palates, if you will. And especially with our friends, Frank, your friend that has the espresso machine, and my friend Mike Borkowski with the espresso machine, and real espresso lovers understand it.
Are we talking espresso now?
Are we going there? Isn't that coming up here?
It's coming up, yeah.
Are we segueing?
Well, segue, and you mentioned it.
So if we stand really still, we'll do the TV thing, and then we'll go into the segue. So.
Not again.
Anyway, so we used our other buddies in the espresso world to get their knowledge and experience into kind of guiding our palate as well. So very lucky, a lot of really great people on our Morning Buzz team, or at least on like supporters of the Morning Buzz team.
Yeah, huge. They were if they weren't direct mentors, they were just a sounding board or a taste palette to try the coffee. And so, as Ed mentioned, these couple of friends we have that have great espresso machines have tried out. We have 3 different blends that we're working on, and we want 2 of them, at least one of them for sure, but maybe 2 for espresso roast. So that is something coming down the pipe, an espresso roast. So for all you espresso lovers, and all you guys that are waiting for, and you can take a Mornin Buzz right now as any one of these, and particularly the medium and the light, and you can put it through an espresso machine.
Mike Borkowski got a really good creme and a really good froth coming out of there.
I think Lorenzo Castelli is. I've seen a few pictures of his.
He did light roast.
Yeah, he did light roast.
This is a bit of coffee knowledge, I guess. We're because we're talking about the espresso roast that we're going to be releasing, so it makes sense. But the espresso is actually not the bean, but the extraction.
Mm-hmm.
So, but normally, in like a mocha pot or the old school Italian way, they would use an oilier or darker bean, right? And then, but a lot of guys, especially with the new machines, will use more of a medium to dark, where it's a little less oily, so it doesn't gunk up their machines. But if anybody out there wants to comment and tell us how you like your espresso, maybe you make espresso out there, and maybe you like a different roast profile, or we'd love to hear hear about it. Seriously,
send us a message through the website, through any Facebook or Instagram, or
give us a buzz at morninbuzzcoffee.buzz. We'd love to hear from you. Absolutely. Yeah. So Frank, this is the part of the every coffee hang that we do.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Well,
what next segment?
We mentioned espresso. We do have a subscription service you can already get on. We have a bunch of people that are already subscribed.
Mm-hmm.
We have some plans for some pretty cool stuff coming down.
Some great offers that might help some people out to get our coffee in their household. Yeah.
So some pretty cool stuff. Some neat things that are really green and environmentally friendly for subscription offers, so that we're not always getting a bag of coffee. We can get some stuff that's compostable or recyclable. That's coming down the pipe. We got some swag we're working on, all kinds of really cool swag ideas.
Yeah.
What else? We got some amazing guests coming down after these.
Unbelievable! Very cool. Yeah.
So that's just been it's a joy every time that we film it.
And again, we'd love to hear your opinion as well. What do you think of the videos? Is there topics that you'd like to talk about, or for us to talk about, or ask some of these guests, or we're absolutely open to hear your guys' opinions and comments. We'd love to. We just want to, communicate with the Morning Buzz community, and we're doing this for our love, but also for you. We want to give you guys some entertainment, especially in this time where, every day you're shuffling through negativity, and just want to try to ring a positive tune your way, Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Everything.
Yeah.
How do you like a theme song too?
Yeah.
You kind of like it too.
Yeah. What do you think of Frank's ponytail? Anything. What do you think of this stupid shaving job I got going on here? Which Frank's not mentioned anything. You got to remember that about 4 days ago I had a full beard.
I know. There's at least it's not a jazz patch. So.
I got it. It's kind of like right there. It just won't grow. It can't grow, this jazz patch.
Because I'm a rocker.
I should almost put some weights on this one. So draw it down.
Put it down.
You get the big lip.
Put it down. But that's exciting stuff coming down the pipe. Lots more coffee hangs. We're going to keep bringing them to you. Coffee School 101 is going to have a couple changes. That's kind of exciting for us too. There'll be another video out about that. And we got our studio. This is Mornin Buzz Coffee Studios.
Yeah, well, it's definitely, it is. It's like the start of it. This is basically where we pack our coffee from here, and we distribute from here.
Yeah.
We got all the tools and all the stuff.
This is how your box starts. We won't go to that part. because that becomes work.
This is how a cardboard box is made. And we'd like to take you through the creation of this seams.
You have to know it all. So
anyway. Totally. Do we got anything else, Frank?
I think that's it, but that was kind of exciting,
Seriously, man. Congrats, buddy. 3 months. And
3 months,
love you, brother.
Yeah, love you too, man.
Good hang.
Love you folks out there. Thank you for continuing to support us.
Yeah, all you guys, we really appreciate just the community, and thanks for buying our coffee, and continue enjoying it. Any problems with the coffee? Any questions about the coffee? Call me.
Call us. Call 967-1111. No.
967. Beep. You know what? I got to mention one thing before we go.
Yes.
There hasn't been one mention on this coffee hang about the cruise ship. Dun, dun, dun.
And there's still nothing. Here it comes. I have no idea why why he's talking about cruise ships. I have no idea.
There's not one mention of cruise ships.
Nope.
Now there's two.
I haven't said a thing. I don't know what he's talking about. Absolutely.
I'm not cutting that camera into the shot, by the way. He thinks he's going to get that camera cut
All
into
right.
the shot. No.
Folks, this is the extra part of the coffee hang you don't pay for.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Mornin Buzz Coffee Company.
One thing for sure, we have a lot of fun. And we don't take ourselves very seriously, but we take our quality of our product very seriously and our customers very seriously. So that's all we got. Signing out. Thanks for hanging with us.
Till next time. Bye for now.
Ciao.